and welcome to tonight's Roundtable program. We've got a lot of really great information for you, and we hope you enjoy it. But first, let's take a moment and honor our nation and our nation's flag. Hey Pacific Harbors Council, welcome to your September 2019 Roundtable. I am Rick, your Assistant Council Commissioner for Roundtable, your Council Roundtable Coordinator. And I want to welcome you as we pilot this new Roundtable format for the Council. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and a little bit more about what we have going on for your virtual aspect of this Roundtable. But first I want to pause for a moment. Yesterday we commemorated the 18th anniversary of the attack on the World Trade Center. For, I'm sure all of you, and I know myself as well, I can easily remember where I was when I truly understood what was going on. So before we progress into too much, I would like you to join me for a moment or two as we commemorate and we reflect on all that was lost 18 years ago.
The names for the victims of September 11th and their survivors. Yesterday, I lay awake in the palm of the night. A fine rain stole in, unhelped by any breeze, and when I saw the silver glaze on the windows, I started with Ackerman as it happened, then Baxter and Calabro, Davis and Eberling, names falling into place as droplets fell through the dark. Names printed on the ceiling of the night, names slipping around a watery bend, 26 willows on the banks of a stream. In the morning I walked out barefoot among thousands of flowers, heavy with dew like the eyes of tears, and each had a name, Fiore inscribed on a yellow petal, then Gonzalez and Hahn, Ishikawa and Jenkins. Names written in the air and stitched into the cloth of the day, a name under a photograph taped to a mailbox, monogram on a torn shirt. I see you spelled out on storefront windows and on the bright unfurled awnings of this city. I say the syllables as I turn a corner, Kelly and Lee, Medina, Nardella, and O'Connor. When I peer into the woods, I see a thick tangle where letters are hidden, as in a puzzle concocted for children. Parker and Quigley in the twigs of an ash, Rizzo, Schubert, Torres, and Upton, secrets in the boughs of an ancient maple. Names written in the pale sky, names rising in the updraft amid buildings, names silent in stone or cried out behind a door, names blown over the earth and out to sea. In the evening, weakening light, the last swallows, a boy on a lake lifts his oars. A woman by a window puts a match to a candle, and the names are outlined on the rose clouds, Vanacore and Wallace. Let X stand, if it can, for the ones unfound. Then Young and Zeminski, the final jolt of Z. Names etched on the head of a pin, one name spanning a bridge, another undergoing a tunnel, a blue name needled into the skin, names of citizens, workers, mothers and fathers, the bright-eyed daughter, the quick son. Alphabet of names in green rows in a field, names in the small tracks of birds, names lifted from a hat or balanced on the tip of the tongue, names wheeled into the dim warehouse of memory, so many names there is barely room on the walls of the heart.
thank you for participating. Now, we're going to move on because I have a lot I want to discuss, but I also want to hand it over to your district roundtable commissioners. We're trying to make this roundtable program effective and useful for everybody. And I've been in several meetings over the last month and a half, 2 months, trying to figure out what the best course is. The whole idea of a roundtable, the biggest part in my opinion, is the networking aspect, okay? You could go on to my.scouting.org anytime and get online training. You can go on YouTube at any time and find any sort of video training videos put on by any council within the country to help you become a better leader. But the big thing about Roundtable, in my experience, is the networking aspect, being able to sit down with the commissioners of my district and say, hey, I have this problem. What do you think? How can you help make this better? What can I do? So we're opting and testing a new program where we have the virtual piece, which you're watching right now, where it's a centrally located, centrally produced item that can be watched anytime after I make this available online. And you're watching it, both districts are watching this, so you're both getting the same information coming out from me. After this video, I'm going to hand it over to your district roundtable commissioners to facilitate discussions for whatever you leaders might need for your units, your scouts, your own personal development. This is your opportunity to bring forward your own needs. Throughout this video, I'm also going to be including a skit and a song recorded by your camp staff down at Camp Thunderbird this past summer. And I've also spent some time at the State Fair, and we're actually going to move into this next piece right now. I've spent a lot of time at the State Fair, and I started taking my camera with me after a suggestion from one of the volunteers out there at the booth. And I'm actually reaching out to Eagle Scouts who are no longer in the program, who may have done great things in their lives, and I'm asking them to give me a short talk on what they've done, how Scouting has helped them become successful in their lives. So this past weekend I had the opportunity, I spoke with a gentleman named John. He earned his Eagle in about 2007, he says. And let's listen to what he has to say real quick. Thanks.
Well, I think a big one is that when I was in the program, when I went through the actual Weeblos and Boy Scouts and all that, everyone told me, all the parents, all the troop leaders, they told us oh, you're being an Eagle Scout, it's going to open a lot of doors for you, it's going to help you make a lot of connections. When you're a kid, you just kind of brush it off. You're like, oh, whatever. I want to go camping. I want to go on the hikes, all the fun stuff. But when you get older, you really do notice it opens doors. It opens a lot of pathways for you. The connections help. I've been at job interviews where the guy who's interviewing me is also an Eagle Scout, and so we have that in common. And the outdoor adventures have been a big one. I did Philmont, the one in New Mexico, in 2005 or 2006. Since then, that really spurred my interest in hiking. I've been hiking in the volcanic ridges in Guatemala, in Peru, along the Alps in Europe, but hiking was a big one for me.
All right. So you see how for this one individual, the fact that he earned his Eagle Scout has really helped him succeed. Now that's just one thing. I was reading an article recently about a lot of the soft skills that employers are looking for that our scouts, our Eagle Scouts especially, have developed because of our programs. And as I'm continuing to try and get some more of these video testimonials, and I'm going to attempt to showcase one at every roundtable throughout the next year until the next fair. So with that, moving on, I want to talk to you guys really quickly, and I'm actually more talking to our cub leaders right now about flag ceremonies, okay, and opening ceremonies, starting your events and your meetings with an opening ceremony. It's important to have an opening ceremony because it's a way to get grounded in the event. You start off with the flag posting and the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? That reaffirms who we are as a country. Then you may branch off into the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best. That reaffirms who we are as Scouts. And then you jump into the Scout Law. The Scout Law are really the 12 points that we all Scouters and Scouts should be building our lives off of. So, and that's why it's important to start every meeting, every event, every camp out with an opening ceremony. I've been to campouts where there wasn't an opening ceremony, and I was actually disappointed, because that should be the first thing we do at every meeting, is we honor our country, honor our Scouts. So I was actually out with Troop 62, and I asked them to perform an opening ceremony for me. And this script that I had them follow, that they followed, will be available through the files, through our council webpage and the drive that everybody will have access to with this video. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Please watch along. Before we start, I want to make a point though, that there is no concrete, no 100% way that this has to be done. What worked for Troop 62 in this video might not work for Pack 692 or Pack 007 down in Lacey or anywhere else within the council. This is just one option. But the big thing is, I want to make sure you do conduct these ceremonies. So let's go ahead and watch.
Color guard, attention, audience, please rise. Scout salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, cross the colors. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, honor the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Scout sign. Please join us in reciting the Scout Oath. On
my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout Law.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Outdoor code.
As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, be careful with fire, be considerate of the outdoors, and be conservation-minded.
2. Color guard, reform ranks. Forward march. Troop at ease, audience, please be seated.
All right. So you see how for this one individual, the fact that he earned his Eagle Scout has really helped him succeed. Now that's just one thing. I was reading an article recently about a lot of the soft skills that employers are looking for that our Scouts, our Eagle Scouts especially, have developed because of our programs. And as I'm continuing to try and get some more of these video testimonials, and I'm going to attempt to showcase one at every roundtable throughout the next year until the next fair. So with that, moving on, I want to talk to you guys really quickly, and I'm actually more talking to our cub leaders right now about flag ceremonies, okay, and opening ceremonies, starting your events and your meetings with an opening ceremony. It's important to have an opening ceremony because it's a way to get grounded in the event. You start off with the flag posting and the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? That reaffirms who we are as a country. Then you may branch off into the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best. That reaffirms who we are as Scouts. And then you jump into the Scout Law. The Scout Law are really the 12 points that we all Scouters and Scouts should be building our lives off of. So and that's why it's important to start every meeting, every event, every camp out with an opening ceremony. I've been to campouts where there wasn't an opening ceremony, and I was actually disappointed, because that should be the first thing we do at every meeting, is we honor our country, we honor our scouts. So I was actually out with Troop 62, and I asked them to perform an opening ceremony for me. And this script that I had them follow, that they followed, will be available through the files, through our council webpage and the drive that everybody will have access to with this video. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Please watch along. Before we start, I want to make a point though, that there is no concrete, no 100% way that this has to be done. What worked for Troop 62 in this video might not work for Pack 692 or Pack 007 down in Lacey or anywhere else within the council. This is just one option. But the big thing is, I want to make sure you do conduct these ceremonies. So let's go ahead and watch. Alright, so hopefully you guys get the idea. I want to give a big shout out to Troop 62. Thank you for doing that. For us, if you have your own scripts that you would like to use, or you want to record your own troops, your own packs doing these, please feel free to record those opening ceremonies for me. Email them to me. I want all these videos that we can get. Speaking of videos, as my friends over there in Pack 692 found out this week, I am attempting to make a point of randomly crashing unit meetings throughout the Tacoma area, because that's where I live, but I do want to branch out into the greater council area. So if you see a bald guy show up, it's probably just me, and I'm probably just crashing because I can. I'm always going to have my camera with me, so if there's something that you guys are doing that's super cool and you give me permission, I am going to go ahead and record it. Remember, if you're recording, and especially if you plan to send it to me, make sure you have the photograph release for each of your scouts before we send those. We do not want to get anybody in trouble with this. That being said, let's go ahead and jump down to Camp Thunderbird. Remember, I mentioned a few minutes ago that I recorded some of our camp staff down there doing some pretty awesome things. So we're going to jump into a skit and a song, and then we'll jump into our troop talking point, where I've actually had the chance to actually sit down with a few scouts and discuss summer camp. So let's go ahead and jump down to Camp Thunderbird first.
Hey, Shane. What you doing? I'm just pulling the visible canoe out. Looks like fun. Can I join you? Yeah, help me get into the water. Yeah, I know. Okay, how's it over here? Everyone aboard. 3 points of contact. Gotcha. And stroke. Stroke. We're going in circles.
Stroke. Switch sides.
Okay.
Stroke.
Switch sides.
Stroke. Stroke. We're going circles the other
Stroke.
way.
We're still going in circles.
Alright, switch sides. Hey guys, what you doing?
We're taking the visible canoe out onto the lake.
Yeah. Can I join you?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Go. Okay.
Stroke. Stroke. We're still going in circles.
Stroke.
Hey guys, what are you doing?
Switch. Oh, we're just taking a canoe out into the lake.
The invisible canoe?
Yeah, that one. Stroke.
The one that was on the
Sure.
beach.
Stroke. Yeah.
The one with the hole in.
What?
The hole.
Hey guys, I found the hole!
Don't worry, guys.
Paddle faster.
Guys, I can save
Which
you.
side do I paddle
I've
on?
got my suntan lotion. You're on your own.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an awesome song.
It is an awesome song, and I think we should make them sing it with us.
I think it's the same.
All right. Everybody stand up! All right. This song is a repeat after me song.
This song is a repeat after me song.
It's also a do motion song.
Salsa I do is I do motion song.
You ready?
You ready?
I'm a great big mammal, I'm a great big whale.
I'm a great big mammal, I'm a great big whale.
I got a chocolate head and a chocolate tail.
I got a chocolate head and a chocolate tail.
I just bought a new car cause it was on sale.
I just bought a new car cause it was on sale.
When my friends call me up, they ask for Fudgy the whale.
And when my friends call me up, they ask for Fudgy the whale.
They say Fudgy!
They say, Fudgy!
Fudgy the whale!
Fudgy the whale!
That was pretty good actually. First time. Yeah. But what do you think we can, how do you think we can improve this?
How do you think we can improve this?
We bit faster.
I think we can go a wee bit faster.
You guys ready?
You guys ready?
I'm a great big mammal, I'm a great big whale.
I'm a great big mammal, I'm a great big whale.
I got a chocolate head and a chocolate tail.
I got a chocolate head and a chocolate tail.
I just bought a new car cause it was on sale.
I just bought a new car cause it was on sale.
When my friends call me up, they ask me Fudgy the whale.
And when my friends call me up, they ask me Fudgy the whale.
They say Fudgy!
They say, Fudgy!
Fudgy the whale!
Fudgy the whale!
That was good.
That was good.
We can make this a lot more interesting.
We can make this a lot more interesting.
And since our theme is, you know, the ocean and stuff like that, I think
The ocean and stuff.
I think we should do it underwater.
I think we should do it.
You guys ready? I'm a great big mammal, I'm a great big whale. I got a chocolate head and a chocolate tail. I got a chocolate tail, got a chocolate tail. When my friends call me up, they ask me Fudgy the whale.
Like I said, I want your videos, I want your skits, I want your songs. So please go ahead and send them to me. Summer camp, it seems like we just ended summer camp, our summer camp season, which we really just did, because school started over the course of the last few weeks for all of our scouts. But if you're a troop, you need to start looking at next summer now. Okay? You need to decide where you're going to go. Why? Because you need to know how much money you need to fundraise, or how much money you're going to have to try and charge your scouts. What goes into choosing a summer camp? Why would scouts choose to go to one summer camp over another one? Well, I sat down with some scouts from Troop 62, and we discussed these very questions: what they liked about summer camp, what they'd hoped to get out of it, what they really got out of it, and what they were looking for as they look forward. So let's go ahead and watch this interview. What's going on, Pacific Harvest Council? I'm sitting down with the leadership team from Troop 62. We're going to talk about summer camps here in just a moment, but before we get started, I'm going to ask the scouts to introduce yourselves, please.
Hello, my name is Aiden. I'm first class and I'm the SPL.
I'm Charlie and I'm first class also, and I am the ASPL.
I'm Micah, I am first class as well, and I am the ASPL as well.
Okay, so were you two here for this past summer camp? Or you guys
No.
came here after? So Aiden, I'm going to talk to you about this past summer camp. Who selected, first tell me where you guys went to summer camp this year.
We went to Canberra, they're off the Oregon coast. It was amazing.
Okay, who selected that location? Was it you guys or was it the committee that selected that?
It was both of us. We wanted to find a new camp, and also the committee wanted to try out new options. And it was under my authority, me and Connor,
Okay.
who did it. And who we had at the camp is, we had Joe Coughlin-Ease.
We don't even know who all went there. So tell me a little bit about Camp Merriweather. What was it like down there? And that's on the Oregon coast, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It was a well-ran camp, had like 120 staff, which is a good amount of staff, had good medical facility, had to spend had good dining. None of us got food poisoning.
What kind of activities did you guys do when you were
We
there? What kind of merit
mostly-
badges were offered?
There was climbing, there was bicycling, there was hiking, there was e-prep, there was first aid merit badge.
Your scoutmasters were saying swimming.
There was swimming, there was life saving, there was kayaking, there was paddleboard.
So there was a wide variety of merit badges. And how many scouts went down with you guys?
About 10, 12 scouts.
Scoot over a little bit, that way we get that sun out of your eyes. So about 12, about a dozen
It's not
scouts?
this, yeah, 12 scouts.
Okay. And what was your favorite part about that summer camp?
Well, first of all, it would probably be being with my friends before they leave, and it was a new experience.
Okay. So, and you two, Charlie and Mike, you came to us from Alaska, right? So, 62? Colorado.
And I came from Alaska.
Okay,
yeah.
and did you guys participate in summer camp in your councils before you came to 62?
Yep.
You did?
No, I didn't.
Who selected the summer camp where you went?
The leaders.
The committee or the scouts?
The committee.
The committee did? Okay, and did you enjoy the summer camp you guys went to?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. So talk to me, guys. I know you guys have already selected your summer camp for this coming summer. Where did you decide to go to?
Merriweather.
You guys are going back to Merriweather.
Yes, because we had about 15 kids. Once we described Merriweather, say, let's go to Merriweather.
Okay, so all the scouts wanted to go back. What was some of the things that made up the mind on the scouts to go back to
The fact that it's on a private property beach that most of us ditched after our merit badges, just went down there and built sandcastles.
Oh, so you guys got to spend a lot of free time down at the beach, and you guys really like that.
Yeah, and the fact is that it's just a beautiful camp out, fun, and that's where we met our neighboring troop, who was an amazing troop.
Okay.
From Oregon, from that council, and just in all, it was a great experience. And for some of the new scouts, it will give them a warm welcome to scouts. Like Preston and Nikolai will love that camp, especially Preston. Remember the moment he screamed Liberty Brew because he just opened a can of soda pop and just screeched.
Okay. So,
and then
what other campsites, summer camps did you guys look at before deciding on Merriweather? Or was that the only one option you guys gave the scouts?
No, we gave them Firebound. I personally love that camp because I was a camp staff at that. It is an amazing camp. It is well run. It's just not it's a good camp, but there's better.
Okay. And what are you guys looking for as you guys look ahead to next summer? What are you guys looking for? I want to hear from the ASPLs. What are you guys looking for in summer camps? Especially Charlie, since you didn't go to summer camp this last summer.
Just the ways to earn merit badges, legal merit badges.
Okay.
And have fun.
And Micah, what are you looking at in this merit badge, this summer camp compared to your last summer camp that you went to?
I'm looking at getting my shotgun shooting merit badge.
Shotgun shooting merit badge? Okay.
You can definitely get that at Merriweather and North Mountain because they both have excellent shotgun shooting ranges and black powder rifle.
Okay, so now I'm gonna ask this question and your scoutmaster's gonna yell at me later on. Have you guys thought about trying to maybe go to the Philmont Scout Reservation in New Mexico? Oh, okay, Scoutmaster's is saying yes.
I kind of want to say no to that because I don't think, or not to hurt any of you guys, but I don't think we're mentally and physically as a troop ready to undertake Philmont. Philmont is a monster of hiking, and our kids hate 2 miles, let alone going 5 miles is like a heart attack for some of them. Which I don't think we should go push for Philmont until we are prepared. It does sound like a nice idea. I've heard lots of good things about Philmont, and it can get your hiking merit badge done in a matter of 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what that means, SPL. You have to start scheduling more and more hikes to get these scouts ready to go.
Yeah, which we're already doing a lot of hikes. We're already doing a lot of nature walks. We're already learning a bunch about how to. I think we physically grew and mentally grew. Like, this is the third time we've brought the troop on night hikes, and we've had multiple kids come, and they've done better and better and better. They've improved. They have severely improved. Though it's an undertaking that I don't want to put much into quite yet, though we can try.
Okay. All right, it's a bucket list item then for the troop. Okay. Well, awesome. Hey, Scouts guys, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. This is Troop 62. Keep on scouting. Okay, so I hope you got some good information out of that. Before I pass this over to your district roundtable commissioners, I want to go ahead and discuss, give you my council commissioners minute. And I mentioned, if you tuned in to last month's roundtable, that it's something that I want to do where I'm trying to get all of our commissioners involved to record some thoughts on an important topic or something that's going on. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about leadership over the last month and how our roles as scouts and scouters and the leadership that we learn can really affect us and help us in our other endeavors. And it got me thinking about my own career in the Army. When I was a young corporal and then a few months later a sergeant, the hardest lesson I had to learn was how to be an effective leader. And I think had I used the scouting model that I'm going to show you right now, I would have had an easier time of not only being an effective leader, but also of earning the trust and respect of the soldiers that I had the privilege of leading. Now, I did eventually earn that trust, and I did become an effective leader. But I've got a few points that I want to share with you on leadership, and hopefully we can share these points with our scouts and help build them into effective leaders. The first pillar is to keep your word. Now, things change, obviously, we know that, but you should always strive to not make promises that you're not able to keep. And that's always not possible because things change, but it should be the first thing that you should always try to do. Be fair to everybody. Be fair to all of your scouts. Be fair to your volunteers, okay? Don't show favorites. Do not allow your friendships to keep you from being fair to the members of your patrol, or your affections being fair to the members of your troop, okay? Everybody has their strong points in what they can do. Me, I'm great at making videos. I'm not so great at knots. So if I was in a troop, and I'd probably ask my scoutmaster, hey, let me be in charge of recording videos and let's get somebody else to do these knots. Be a good communicator. You don't need to yell to get a point across. You don't need a big commanding voice, but you do sometimes need to stand up and say, let's go. A good leader, especially and this is hard to teach and hard to learn, a good leader knows how to get and give information so everybody understands it and wants to comply. Okay? Be flexible. We all know things don't always go as planned. We saw that last month when I had so many technical issues on Roundtable, but we somehow made it work. So be flexible. It's okay to have to shift to Plan B, Plan C, or even Plan D when Plan A doesn't work. Be organized. A little bit of planning goes a long way. I've spent so much time planning and putting this video together. And in the end, it's paying off because I think, and I hope you guys are getting a lot of good training value out of this. Make sure in meetings you record, especially planning meetings for events like a Pinewood Derby or a camp out, you guys record who's going to do what task. And assign the duty rosters before you guys go camping, before your scouts go camping. Delegate. It is so easy for me to be the one that says, I need to go out and I need to do everything. I need to record every video. I need to be in every video. But that's going to burn you out. That's going to burn me out. And don't assume that somebody else is going to do the job for you. So if you have something that needs to be done, hey, Rick, can you do this for me, please? Sure, thank you. Set an example. Your scouts especially, but your leaders, especially if you're part of the Key 3, are watching you. So set the example. Don't be afraid to have a good attitude when you're doing it, because if you have a cheerful attitude while you're working, while you're leading, your scouts, your volunteers are probably going to have that same attitude with them. Be consistent. Follow the program. And when you make a decision, stick with that decision. This kind of butts heads against the be flexible. But when you go have a decision, say, my Pinewood Derby is January 18th. Well, we're going to move it to the 15th. No, make a decision, stick with that decision. Give praise. We talked about this in last month's roundtable too. One of the easiest things to show somebody that they're appreciated is to say thank you. Or publicly in a troop meeting or a pack meeting, thank them for what they do. Okay? In scouting, we have our Great Knot program. Put somebody in for a knot. Okay? Ask for help. I can't do everything. I don't know everything. So what do? I'm on the phone. I'm emailing all the time, asking for help, asking questions. All right? Don't be embarrassed. Within your troop, within your pack, within our council, we have so many resources out there that none of us should have to feel like we do it all alone. Do the work. Don't be afraid to get dirty. Don't be afraid to get messy. Don't be afraid to take off your field shirt. Pick up those sticks. Pick up those logs. Tie those knots. Set those tents. It has the effect of motivating those you're working with to get dirty and do the nitty-gritty work as well. Like I had to learn my leadership styles, we all have to learn how we lead effectively. But these 11 pillars, I think, are really good at building that foundation. Now, before I turn this over, I want to let you know next month we do start Recharter. Right now, I am putting the final touches on a Recharter training video. I recorded the first training session that my friend John Ruby did. That will be available in the coming weeks once our council staff has completed all of their in-person training that they're going to do. That will be available through the council webpage and the council Facebook page. But it's also good for you to come in and get your packets. So that will be next month at each of the service centers. If you have any questions, please, by all means, reach out to your council staff, reach out to your unit commissioners. Thanks so much for everything you do. I look forward to talking to you soon. If you have anything your scouts are doing, reach out to me, phcroundtable@gmail.com. I'll see you sometime around the council. Thanks so much for what you do. Keep on scouting.